So here's what Peter said.
It actually blew my mind and unlocked something for me, just like put it into like perfect clarity.
The thing he's talking about is an idea that can change literally everything about the way that you create your content, and it will keep your audience coming back for more and more and more. I've had people ask me to do a dedicated video on this for quite a while, so this is it. And no, this is not clickbait. Howdy, Jeff Bartsch here with Story Greenlight, where we're all about helping creators like you tell the stories that you care about the most. That's what we're all about, so if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss a single video. My family and I live out in a northern suburb of Los Angeles, so what I wanted to do is come out into the hills here and show you something really, really cool. So more on that in a second. First, before I get there, anyone who's ever done any kind of editing knows how it's super, super easy to take things and twist them out of context. So what I want to do here is I want to show you, number one, the full clip of what Peter was talking about. Then number two, I want to explain what he was referring to. And then number three, I want to talk about that idea and how you can apply it to your own content. Here we go.
Can you tell that to this?
Wait, oh, sorry, you want to do it that way? Cool.
So I was watching Cody's vlog, The Thing Under the Thing, and I was just telling him, it actually blew my mind and unlocked something for me because it just made that process easier. Sometimes it was hard to manifest or come up with like the way to, like the words to say it, but that vlog just like put it into like perfect clarity for me.
So here's what happened. Earlier this year, my friend Cody Wanner did a really cool collaboration with Peter McKinnon.
What's up, everybody? Peter McKinnon. Oh no, this is your vlog. I don't do.
This is mine.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, man.
A couple months later, Cody and Peter went to a video conference out in Belfast, Northern Ireland, where they were both presenting, and that's where Cody made the vlog that you just saw the clip of Peter talking. And links for all this stuff are down in the description. Here's what Peter was talking about. Before he and Cody went out to Belfast, Cody came out to the West Coast and did a whole bunch of collabs out here.
The collab for right now is with a guy named Jeff from Story Greenlight. I recognize that guy. What's up, brother?
And that's the vlog that Peter was talking about in Belfast. And so what happened was Cody and I met in downtown Hollywood, and here's what we talked about.
Something that I really wanted to ask Jeff about is he changed the way that I thought about editing with one line, which is the thing under the thing. And that's what I wanted to ask you about.
You can tell when people start talking about things, a lot of the time they end up talking about what's on the surface. But when you start feeling things, when what they're talking about, something on the surface that makes you feel something, it's almost always driven by something deeper. It's not the thing, it's driven by the thing under the thing. It's a layer of symbolism other than what's on the surface. I gave an example of what that meant, and we hung out some more, so you should definitely check out Cody's video. It is linked in the description below. Now, if you're like most people, at this point you're probably wondering, like, what is this thing under the thing? And what it is a ridiculously powerful idea that taps into some of the most deep, core things that drive us as human beings. And if you use it right, it will connect your audience to you with emotional superglue. I kid you not. Just to restate the idea, so what we see on the surface, the face value of any given content, that is the thing. But what makes that really matter, what really makes it connect with their audience, is by tying it to stuff that goes deeper, the thing under the thing. The point is to think differently instead of just saying, here's what's happening on the surface. For instance, this trail that I'm walking on right here, the surface is, it's just a trail up in the hills. What it could actually represent as the thing under the thing is, this trail is a metaphor for being on a journey, for walking forward on a journey of whatever you want to connect that to. One of the most popular TV shows I've ever edited is a show called American Ninja Warrior. It's this massive show on NBC here in the United States. The entire show is a textbook example of the thing under the thing. The show on the surface is about athletes going through an obstacle course, but really what it is, that obstacle course is a metaphor for life, and those athletes represent you and me, the viewer. And the question becomes, what do we do when we encounter difficulties in life? What happens when we fall? How do we get up? Do we get up? I mean, it's the matter of like, what are we made of? It's incredibly powerful stuff. So people often ask me, how do you actually find what the thing under the thing is in any given context? And the easiest way to do that is to say, you look at the surface and you say, what is this? And then you say, what does this represent? Now you might have to ask that one or two times. Sometimes it helps to say, why? What does this represent and why? Just the point is you have to find ways to go, 2, maybe 3 levels deeper until you get to something that's really deep, core, it's the most foundational kind of idea you can get. Now, the point of all this is to get you to think differently about your content, but thinking isn't enough. You actually have to work into your content. So here's an example of how to do that. And to show you, you need to go up that hill. To me, this view is not just about a town down in a valley with housing developments up on the hillside. What this is to me, the thing under the thing for me, it's a reminder that I need to play a bigger game. The folks who are building that housing development across the way, they're playing such a big game, they know exactly what they want, to the point where they sliced off the entire top of a hill to make room for the new housing development that's going to be filling up that hillside within the next year or two. They're playing a bigger game, and when I play a bigger game and when you play a bigger game, that's how change happens. That's how our messages get spread, and that's how the world changes.